Hello people, it's Gino here from realeverydayenglish.com. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at some incredibly common phrases or sayings that include numbers. So let's do this. Happy Sunday, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and you enjoy the content, you may want to make the decision to subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell notification because that way you'll never miss a free upload. Today is Mother's Day here in the UK. I'm not sure if you are celebrating Mother's Day in your country, but regardless of that, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers who watch my videos. So as I said in the beginning of this video, we're going to be looking at number sayings, idioms, phrases, whatever you want to say. I've picked out the ones that I hear the most in daily conversations here in England, okay? There are many of these. If I was to teach them all, I'd be here probably until next week. But what I've done is I've picked the ones out that I hear all the time, the most useful ones or the most common ones. And in learning these phrases and starting to use them, you'll increase your vocabulary, you'll sound less robotic, and it'll also be easier to understand what people are saying, especially native speakers when they are speaking at you. So the first thing I want to look at today is the number one, but not as in a number, digit. We actually use the word one, okay, but it's the same thing. We use the number one to add emphasis when describing something, okay? And the way we do this is we put the word one in front of the adjective and usually emphasize on the word one, okay? So to give you an example, let's say there is a Chinese restaurant that's just opened in my local town and I'm telling my friend about it. I could say something like, have you tried that restaurant? That is one good restaurant, mate. That is one good restaurant. So I put the one in front of the adjective that I'm using to describe it. I couldn't say, mate, that is one restaurant. No, it doesn't sound right. You have to get the words in the right order, okay? You have to put the one in front of an adjective. You can't just use one and then add the subject of what you're talking about. It doesn't work. It doesn't sound right or natural. To give you another one, let's say another one. I didn't intend on doing that. Let's say I've cut my arm, okay? I've got a nasty cut and it's bleeding. Then somebody could say, Gino, you need to go to the hospital, mate. That is one nasty cut. That is one nasty cut. And it's adding the emphasis to it, okay? You couldn't say, that is one cut. No. You have to have an adjective there to add the emphasis, okay? Before we move on, one of the most common phrases that you'll hear using one to add emphasis is one hell of a, okay? So if you're dealing with some kind of problem or something like that, you could say to your friend, oh mate, I've got one hell of a problem. And it means, it's just adding the emphasis, it means you've got a really big problem. Okay, the next one, well, not really the next one, because the first one wasn't a saying, it was more of an explanation of how we use the number one. The saying I want to cover here is two-faced. Now, when you describe someone as being two-faced, it's always a person, okay? It means that they are not sincere or genuine, or in other words, you feel like they're pleasant to you when you're with them, they're nice to you, but when you're not there, you feel like they speak badly about you, is when you would describe somebody as being two-faced, okay? So if you're talking about a particular person at work or something like that, you'll often hear people say, yeah, he's all right, but I think he might be a bit two-faced. And it means that you don't trust him. You don't trust him or her. You think that they might be speaking about you behind your back in not a nice way. And the next one is back to square one. Now, we use the phrase back to square one to express that you are back at the starting point of something without having made any progress, okay? So to give you an example, let's say I accidentally delete all of the videos off my channel and delete my channel. So Real Everyday English doesn't exist anymore, okay? I'd have to start a new channel, but I'd be back to square one because I wouldn't have made any progress. So that's an example of how we would use that. To have one too many. Now, we use this saying to express that somebody has drank too much alcohol, okay? Too many alcoholic beverages. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they've literally had one too many. They might have had 10 too many, who knows? But I think the origin of that saying is because those of you who drink, if you've ever been in a situation where you've got drunk, you'll know that it seems to be that one drink that is the turning point. So you're out drinking, you're having a good time, and then you have that one drink, and the next minute you're slumped in a chair because you're too drunk. I think that's where it comes from. So to give you an example, I could say something like, oh, I saw my best mate last night, but he'd had one too many, and it means he was drunk. To be in two minds. This means to be undecided, usually because you've got two conflicting ideas about something, okay? So let's say you are interviewing people for a job that you have at your company, and you could be speaking about a particular candidate, okay? A particular person who has applied. And you could say something like, I like him, but I'm in two minds as to whether to hire him because he has all the right qualifications, but he doesn't have very much experience. So I'm in two minds, and it means you're undecided. 9 times out of 10. This one means extremely likely, okay? Or at least 9 occurrences out of 10 this thing will happen. So let's say I like to play chess with my friend, but he's much better than me. Then I could say something like, I enjoy playing chess with John, but 9 times out of 10 he beats me, and it means it's extremely likely that he's going to win. It takes 2 to tango. This one means that it requires 2 people in order for a conflict to continue. That's the way I hear it used in daily life. So let's say my friend is explaining to me that he keeps having arguments with his wife, okay? Then I could say something like, mate, it takes 2 to tango. And what that means is that you have to contribute as well. She can't just argue on herself. You know, it takes 2. So it takes 2 to tango. Never in a million years. This means never. Not a chance of it happening, okay? So you could say, let's say you're talking about something that you would never ever do, okay? So let's say, I'll give you an example. There's a particular sauce here in England, and lots of people like it. It's called brown sauce, and people tend to have it on bacon sandwiches and stuff, but I don't like it. I can't stand it, okay? So I could say something like, never in a million years would I put brown sauce on my bacon butter. Not happening. Catch-22. Catch-22 is a description of a situation or dilemma from which there doesn't appear to be an escape or solution, all right? So let's say I've been to university and I've gained all these wonderful qualifications, okay? Then I start applying for jobs, but I can't get a job because all of the employers, they want experience. So it's catch-22 because I need to get a job in order to gain experience, but I can't get a job because I don't have any experience, if you understand what I mean. So it's catch-22. That is it for today's video, people. Hope you found it useful. If you did find it useful, please feel free to share it far and wide with all of your English learning friends, and let's see how many people we can reach and help reach the English and life goals here on Real Everyday English. Have a really good day, and I'll see you people in the next video. Bye bye for now. Ciao.